Welcome to Kennesaw Happenings podcast, and I'm golfer Pete, and we have a guest, and Trent is actually in the studio this morning, so he has tied in a nice visit. So we did Trent about a month ago, but our editors lost the podcast, so I said, Trent, we got to do it again. So not only is he coming back, but he has experience. Have done it before. So Trent, please introduce yourself and who you serve in the community so our listeners will have an idea who they're listening to.
No problem, Pete. My name is Trent Trees, Painting by Trees. I'm an interior, exterior decorator, house painter, looking for residential painting. And a lot of the customers like their decks done, pressure washing outside, inside, stairwells, that kind of things that it could get painted up. So I'm there to help people out and getting their projects, make their house look pretty.
That's awesome. And give our viewers, when did you get started in the painting business?
That'd been 1998. I was a teacher before that, and I was painting on the side. And I decided, I'm making a lot more money painting than I was teaching, and I love teaching. So I got into Boy Scouts to fill that spot and helped out volunteering Boy Scouts while I was doing my painting, and started it up in 1998. And it's been almost 25 years now.
Yep. I was calculating those years in my mind. Thanks for giving us the 25 years of doing something. I would say probably you enjoy it. So what do you enjoy most about what you're doing in the painting business today?
My enjoyment is seeing the excitement of people's faces when they see their room brightened up, cleaned up, the holes, and changing their pictures around and seeing what they do with their homes outside, protecting their homes. Enjoyment of knowing that the house is protected. It's going to be there for at least another 8 years until they get to call me back and get a touch-up job. So doing that is very nice. And my target market is a lot of 55 older people, especially when the husband has passed away, the wife needs to keep the house up and needs help. And I like helping people. That's one of the things. And I do a lot of little small things like going into the job, and they got their garbage can out there and it just got that emptied. I'll bring the garbage can up the driveway. That way they don't have to do it. Delivering a newspaper that gets thrown on the driveway when I come up, or anything else I can help them out with. I'm there to help out. Cleaning lights and changing out light bulbs that are too high. I'm there with ladders. Why not do it? So I like helping people.
Well, I'm sure that is a big part of your success, is that serving mentality that you have out there. And just from a person that doesn't understand completely about your business, but I do see, everybody looks at price. And so what happens when somebody is maybe just starting out, they have a low price? What can you tell our viewers, and what could they expect from somebody that's been out there 25 years? What do you say when they say, well, Trent, you're high, or you're higher than this other person?
Yeah. I always say, well, what did they miss? Prep work is the number one thing on any paint job. If you don't really have any prep work done, then the paint's not going to stay. I'm starting a job on Tuesday. It's a cabin that someone just recently stained a year ago, and the stain is falling off the cabin. And what they didn't do right off the bat when I got up there and looked at it, and why it was flaking, was there's mold. They didn't pressure wash the cabin first, and then they just put the stain over top. And it looks good for a month maybe or so, and it starts coming off. So prep work is very, very important. I make sure that the house is sealed, all the caulking, the holes, bee holes, the woodpecker holes, and siding that's rotting and taking it off. And if I notice things, I tell them, I said, you have a roof problem here. I'm not a roofer, but I have people that, I know people that are roofers and do other things like repairing your window or replacing the window, that kind of thing. So I'm able to help them out in that area also. And that's why I like doing is making sure that it's done correctly. Another question they always ask me is, how long does it take? And I'll exterior house, it's going to be like 10 days. 10 days? My neighbor just had it done in 3. And I'm like, yeah, well, what didn't they do? And I don't rush a job. I take my time, go through it to make sure it's done right the first time.
That's, that's hard for a first time buyer or a first time person to understand your decision or your process that you go about. What for our viewers out there that look at just painting as painting, is there a difference in the quality of paint that you use versus what is available in the marketplace?
Oh yeah. Every paint company you have, and I prefer Sherwin-Williams, but there's the Benjamin Moore, there's the Home Depot and Lowe's. Everybody has different degrees of paint. There's the cheap stuff at the bottom and then all the way to the most expensive. And I usually try to get something right below the most expensive, because a lot of times that one is just as good as the high dollar one, which that's where they're making their money off of. And they try selling the high dollar one, but when you buy something, it's usually the one in the middle is the one you should go with. And so that's the quality of paint I use. And then new construction, since they're building a whole subdivision, they're going to get the cheapest stuff and spray the whole subdivision down. A lot of times they'll add water to their paint and stretch it just to get it done so they don't have to spend any more money. A lot of times the new construction, I can tell when I walk into a place, it's 3 years and they start losing their paint in 3 years. When you do use good paint and do it the right way, it's going to last 8 to 10 years.
That makes a difference, because it's not like that I know a person always said when you bought like a bicycle, you look at putting the dollars in something that's going to last a lot longer. What do you see in your business? What are the common mistakes that like a homeowner will make when they're all of a sudden getting 3 bids? What would they ask that makes them more educated and helpful in making better decisions?
They need to make sure they ask if the person is insured. I mean, somebody falls off a ladder, they're not insured, guess who has to pay the bill? So having insurance is the number one thing, and getting references from them. Most of my clients, since I don't advertise that much at all, as far as any kind of billboards or nothing like that, all my clients find out about me from their neighbors or friends, that kind of thing. And so that's a big reference right there. That's how I get my jobs. But if you're pulling someone off the thing, get some references and check on them and see what they are, as far as, like a lot of people go to the next door neighbor and say, I need a painter. And then they got people calling in, or people saying, well, my brother's a painter, or my nephew's a painter, or something like that. But when they see Trent Trees is a painter and they see it 6 times from different people on that one day, then they go, wow, okay, here's someone that people all like. And that's what gets me a lot of times there at the job.
What would you say, like, how's 25 years, you obviously, if 8 to 10 years is your life cycle, you have repeat customers. What are they saying after that 8-year time frame? Are they somebody that understands the quality, or give our viewers an idea of that life cycle?
That it's interesting you mentioned that, because a lot of my painters, even though it's an 8-year process, I might see them in 3 years because they moved. Not because they need their own house repainted again. They sold it and it still looked good, and they didn't need that house painted again because it's good, looks in good shape. But then they moved it to the new house, and that's one that needs painted. They bought it as is, they want to fix it up the right way. And since they know my process, also they give me a call a lot of times months ahead of time. I'm usually a good 1 to 3 months out. And so that way people could give me a call and say, all right, this is October, going into October, but I need my house painted in the spring. They'll call me now to get on my calendar. That way they don't lose out on that box.
And I think that's, for our viewers, that's a red flag. If somebody says, you call them and they say, I'll be there Monday.
Yeah.
That's probably not the person you want. No. Because they got availability. And that if there's a waiting line, I always like that, because I'm not the only one that's waiting. And so I think that's a good thing. What would you say, what are people like, some of your your clients, what are they saying after they finish? What are they noticing different that really stands out in your mind that you can share with our viewers?
Obviously the colors, when they change color, I love the new color. They had a yellow house and they tired of it and they wanted, a different color. And I've had people call and said, my house is out in the woods and I'm trying to hide it more. It sticks out too much and I want to neutralize it. So the colors obviously is one of the things that you always pick, but the one that people don't realize on the exteriors, and I'm painting an exterior, that I caulk around all the windows and seal it up. And I've had people after the fact, months later, I run into them and they go, my electric bill went down.
Wow.
So, you seal it up, the air is not going to be, you're not losing all that heating and air. So,
yeah, I think I like the idea that you've been in business 25 years, because if you weren't any good, you wouldn't make it past 3, actually, because I think that's the life cycle of new businesses.
Right.
So I think for our viewers, always look at how long a person has been in business and who they are. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not like you passed it on to another company and your company is 25 years old. Yeah, you're the original person. So let's go a little bit to the personal side. When you're not painting, what do you like to do?
Let me get one comment on that, on that last statement. Our economy has gone through different phases. And we're going through one right now where it's getting really tough. Back in 2009, remember when everything hit and all the construction stopped? A lot of painting companies went away. They folded. They couldn't keep up.
Right.
I had repeat business from my customers that I don't do new construction, so it didn't hurt me. Back in the Bubba Gump days, and in the movie, I was the only painter around in 2010. I was busy. Everybody else is struggling, and I was like, I couldn't keep up. And that's because I had business because of repeat customers.
Right.
I've been through the hard times and know how to handle it. So that's what happened there.
That's a good point, Trent. I think I like what you just said too, is there was a lot of businesses that folded in 2009 and 10. And so if you fold, then a lot of times it's the principles of how you ran your business didn't withstand a tough time. So when people can make it through tough times, it says a lot about how they conduct their business and their philosophy. So I think whether you believe it or not, a lot of people think that our next year or two, we're going to revisit, 2009, 10. So for our viewers, beware of the people that have not been through a cycle of a down cycle, because I think that, in my experience, it filters out the weaker ones. And then the stronger ones make it through because they're doing things right. And I'm sure that if we had to evaluate your business to withstand 2009, 10, to be in business 25 years, it speaks to how you service and how you run your business.
Yeah, I'm not out there headhunting and just going out and doing a kill and then I don't see you again.
Right.
I'm a painter. I'm your painter for life. That's what I tell all my customers. I'm there to help you out. You see something, you already paid me, you're going to see me back. I'm going to fix it. I want to make sure it's done right.
So if you had to give advice to a new business, maybe they're not even in painting, but what would be that advice that you could give a business owner that could help them, be a 25-year-old business?
Giving, charities. People remember when you help them. And so you look at what you want to give to and do charities. I was Boy Scouts. I am now in the Lions Club. I help out with the American Legion. I do volunteer painting at their place right now. You're looking for those kind of things, sticks to people's minds. They remember you. And then when it comes time for your business to be there for them, they'll call you up and you'll have a job.
Yeah, I love that. And now I'll give our viewers just a story I heard, because people do repeat stories. And when you're giving, people remember that, just like you said. There's a U-Crops, which is a local grocery store. They're now out of business up in Richmond, the Virginias. And the story always went that this church needed some new carpet, and they asked Mr. U-Crop, could they help him out? And he put carpet throughout the whole place and just gave to the person. And that story, I bet you, has been told thousands and thousands of times. So Mr. U-Crop was just giving, not realizing how many times it comes back, that people, like you said, they remember those things, and they kind of see your heart.
Mhm.
They see that you're not just out for yourself, you're out to give to the community, give to people. And those kind of stories just keep people don't forget them.
Yeah, that's what I said is, you're reading the Bible about it. It says, God will bless you so you can bless others.
Yes, I love that one. That's just that's so important to understand in business, because so many people are out. Not so many people. There are people out there. So when you're evaluating your decision process, always ask questions. Always ask, how long have you been in business? What kind of referrals do you have? These are the kind of things that you're going to find out about it. And just don't say, oh, I got somebody cheaper, let me go with the cheaper one, because usually that'll take you down a dead end road, and you're going to be going, why did I make that decision?
Yeah.
So let's share, because we always like to know what our viewers, what kind of things you do when you're not on a ladder painting. What do you like to do, Trent?
Well, right now I'm up in LJ in my cabin, and I like being at the river because the Coosawattee River runs right through my neighborhood. And I fish, and in the summertime we're out floating, tubing, and kayaking. But the new thing I've done is invented river hovering. River hovering is where you take a tube, you get an anchor, and you throw it in the river, and you just hover in one spot. And other people, as they're floating by, you just sit there and wave to them and let them go by, and you talk to people when they go by. So you don't have to move, and you don't have to work so hard bouncing off rocks. You're just sitting out there. And for us older people, it's a lot more easy and enjoyment. And then you have a picnic there on the side of the.
Oh, I love it. I think of the weekend warrior syndrome. It's like when we get older, we think we're 25 and we go out there and we go full guns on the weekend. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're like, can't do anything because our bodies don't respond as quickly. Yep. So hovering, I think, could be a very popular thing in the 55 and older community. Definitely. Because I think you're still outdoors, you're still enjoying things, but you're not like doing the activity that's going to throw your body into a tizzy.
Bouncing them rocks hurts.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about LJ. Why did you settle up there?
Well, that's actually my wife's idea.
Okay.
We've always talked about, well, when I retire, we're going to either move to the mountains or move to the beach. One of the two. We haven't decided which one we're going to do, and do some bouncing back and forth. 2019 happened, and she got something from God that said, listen, it's time now. And I'm like, well, I'm not retired yet. She goes, it's only an hour drive, come down to Cobb County to do your work. And I said, yeah, but I'm not retired yet. Said, you never know what's going to happen next year, is what she told me. Wow. That was in 2019, before 2020 epidemic thing hit.
Right.
And we got in our house at the perfect pricing time, because now things are just booming up there, and things are so more expensive. I would not be able to buy my cabin right now if I tried to move up there.
Wow.
So, and we picked up in the mountains, decided to go because she likes the deer to come visit, and being out in the just being out in the country, and the people were so nice. They all wave to you. Everybody knows each other in town, and it's a good country feel.
Wow. That's I love that. Taking action before retirement, because you're not guaranteed tomorrow. So the ones that wait and wait and wait, and sometimes you're waiting too long. Enjoy it while you can. So you're driving about an hour a day to get back into Cobb County?
Yep, an hour a day.
What do you listen to? Are you a book on tapes? Are you music or
fish radio?
Oh, okay. Yes. So Taylor and I know I haven't listened to the radio in a while, but yeah, I have a friend of mine who is related to Taylor.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, he's married to her sister.
Mhm.
So Kevin and Taylor, that's it.
Yep.
Kevin and
Yep.
Taylor. So yeah, I was just texting him back and forth the other day. So I would always ask him, well, how is your sister-in-law doing? So that's a wonderful station. So that is good. So you just come down 575,
Right down 575.
Right.
I don't live too far off the 575.
Okay.
It actually takes me like 6 minutes to get off my mountain and go through there's a gated community. So go out the gate, takes like 6 minutes to get there. But then it's only like 2 minutes to get to the 575 from the gate.
Wow.
So it's not that far away. And she picked the area because things are close by. Like you go shop to get your food or whatever is close by. Town's not that far away. Because you get pretty far out and be too far out.
Right.
And the other thing is our area that I'm in is Kusawati River Resort. And since it is a resort, it's got an indoor pool, it's got weight room facilities, putt golf for kids, basketball, tennis, volleyball, and all that kind of stuff. They have 2 outdoor pools that are open in the summer. So there's a lot of activities we could do things. And bring the grandkids there,
Well, if you have a place that the grandkids want to hang out, that's a wise thing to do because, as they get busy, you want them, hanging. What do they call you? Granddad, grandpa?
I'm Popeye.
Popeye. Okay. Popeye, like in Popeye?
I'm the Sailor Man.
Oh, man, that's good. Do they bring you spinach and things like that?
Yeah, well, they always want to feel my muscle.
Oh, yeah. See, that makes you feel good when they want to feel your muscle.
Popeye.
And now, do you have a tattoo on your arm?
I do not. No tattoos.
Okay, maybe that's something in the future. Tell our viewers, that's good. Tell our viewers, like, what's the weekend like up in LJ? What do you tend to? When do you all do?
We're getting into October right now, and so the leaves are going to start to change pretty quickly. It's like 10 degrees cooler than down in Cobb County. So when I'm driving up there, it's cooler, which is great in the summertime. It's not as hot. And the Apple Festival will be coming up. And so a lot of activities with the festivals they have. They also have a lot of wineries nearby that people want to go and try the winery things. And so there's a lot of fun, and of course, fishing and canoeing. And Carter's Lake is 20 minutes away. Okay. So there's a lake there too. Got a beach and all kinds of different things to do. I'm busy all the time.
Are you boating up there? Is that what you're saying?
I have a lake kayaks. Okay. That's what I have. Okay. Boat is something on our list later on down the road when I have more time. I'm working too much. Right. Once I do retire, I can see myself getting a boat and be able to use that. But I'm afraid to get one now and have it sit around too much. I got to use it. So having so much other stuff going on. And we spend a lot of time at the American Legion up there. It's right on the river. It's open to the public. So if anybody wants to come up and have a great steak on Friday nights, that's when the American Legion has their steak and baked potato, $22 with salad, baked potato, a huge steak. Really? Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. So it's a good Friday night meal. So welcome to come up and see me. I'm up there. Well, that's awesome. I know that we have some veterans that go to the Marietta buffet, Saturday buffet, and it's like $10 all you can eat. And it's a popular thing here because, and I think the VFW is always one that offers value because they want people hanging around. Yeah. And so that's good. So can anybody go up there on a Friday night? Yeah, it's open to the public on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays. Okay. Closed Sunday, Mondays, and they have activities going on. Tuesday is game night, Wednesday is trivia, Thursday is bingo, Friday is steak and karaoke, and Saturdays is like depending upon the season and what we're doing. It could be an outdoor games or there's a lot of times they have what they call bike rides or the motorcycles. They go out and collect money and donate it to the kids. So they do a lot of things for the kids, special needs people. So they have a summer camp for the kids there that since it's on the river, kids like going there and fishing and playing and tubing and they camp out in tents and do a whole week of summer camp. for the kids in the neighborhood. They're needy.
Right. So that's awesome. So you mentioned grandkids. So do they come up and see y'all in the mountains?
I have Presley is my grandchild.
Okay.
And then I have a niece. Went blank on that one.
What ages are they?
They're Presley is going to be 9 this November, and I went blank on the name. I'm sorry.
It's okay. What do you take him fishing up there? Is that something?
Both girls.
Both girls.
Oh, they both fish.
Do they really?
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
They both fish.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, I think, sometimes we think it's just the boys that like to fish, but everybody likes to fish, I think.
My oldest is coming through, but it's Josie.
Josie. Okay, Josie.
Sorry, Josie.
Hey, just so you know, when grandparents get a little older, sometimes it's not that we don't know, but we don't recall as quickly as we did when we were a little younger. So
and Josie catches pretty good fish too, size.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Her and her dad go boating at the lake, and they have a fishing boat and they go out and catch fish. So they like fishing.
That is awesome. That's can't have anything better, fishing with your grandkids. Oh my gosh, that'll our viewers will love that. So I think the message is move to the mountains as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
Even if you're not retired,
right,
you can get prepared for it.
Yep.
So as we wind down, Trent, because I know you got plenty to do, and we want to make sure that you can still have the activities, the funds to keep funding the grandkids. What would you like to do? Like, is there a person that you could recommend to our viewers that you would like to see on this show that can add some value to our Cobb County residents?
Wow. Let me see. I would say Joy Green Armstrong.
Okay.
She is an attorney. If you need wills and so forth, she does trusts.
Okay.
So she'll take your will and make a trust out of it, in which will help you when a time, unfortunately, will come that you pass away, that the taxes, the probate are gone.
Yeah.
So that would be the number one thing as far as people in the area here. Get yourself set up. She does a great job. She's in the area. So
we'll get it. We'll try to get her on the show. So yeah, understanding those things, you hear trust, and I think you think for the wealthy. Yeah. But I think the myth is it's for everybody, because I just ran into a friend here and he said he had to go to probate, and he's going through all the hoops, and now his daughter's helping him, but it's no easy feat when you have to put all these legal things together. And if you can do things ahead of time, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
So what would you say? We always like how can people get a hold of you, Trent?
Well, you can always just look at me at the website, paintingbytrees.com. There is a way of connecting with me through text, where you text the word painting to 21,000. So what your phone number, normally you put a phone number and you put 21,000 in. Okay. You go down the text box, wrote painting, hit, and then you'll get a download, and you'll get my digital business card.
Awesome. Well, we'll put that also in the show notes. Oh, there we go. Put it a little closer so they can see it. Oh, yes. Okay. That's awesome.
That's
all right.
What you get.
That's good. That makes it easy, because, you don't have to carry around a bunch of business cards and we all have phones. Most of us do. So getting things on the phone is
and you save it, and it makes it easy then for you. When your neighbor comes up and says, "Who'd you have paint your house?" You just open it up and say, "Here, I'll send it to you," and you send it to them.
Awesome. Just brought up, just when you said that, I know Gabe. Is it Gabe?
Yes.
Yeah. So we have to have him on our show, because in today's society, making it easy for people to get a hold of you is very important. Right. So that makes so much sense. 2100 and then painting.
So if you text Gabe to 2100, you'll get him.
Okay. Man, that's
how you do it.
Okay, that makes it easy. We'll put that in the show notes too. So anybody that wants to
Digital business
simplify
card.
their communication,
Mhm.
that's a good resource.
And,
Because
and the reason that actually came around was because of COVID. People didn't want to pass things, and so
really
that's what they came up with, these digital business cards. You don't have to pass a card. Yeah.
awesome. Well, we appreciate you sharing that. We also like to give our guests the last parting thought. So tell our best listeners what they can, a parting thought of what you would want them to go away with today.
Well, let me think about that. It's looking about not giving up. If things get hard sometimes and you hit some bumps, just keep pushing. If you feel it's the right thing to do, push through and don't give up. It'll come.
Yeah, I love it. I think if I look over my shoulder, I have that right there. That little thing says, "Don't give up." That little
Okay.
rock there. So, hey, thank you for validating that little stone up there.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Trent. Well, we want to thank you for taking the time to be our guest and coming into the studio
Thank
and
you.
really just sharing some incredible insights for business. And so our viewers, 25 years, you want to be around 25 years, listen to the principles that Trent has shared with you. Thank you, Trent. Okay.